In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to build Stampy's rocket from Stampy's Lovely World. So, without further ado, let's get into it. These are the materials you are going to need for today's build. Now, if you are brave enough to try and build this absolutely massive rocket in survival, I have left the exact amount that you will need of each of these items in the description of this video. Take a good look, and once you think you have them all, we can get on with today's project. For today's build, you're going to need an area that is 29 blocks long by 19 blocks wide. And to begin, we're going to come to the bottom left and we're going to count to the right by 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And here we're going to place a piece of black wool. And then we're going to extend it backwards by another 2 blocks so that it is 3 blocks wide. Now we're going to extend up each of these by another 7 blocks so they're a total of 8 blocks tall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we do that for all 3 blocks. Now, coming off the back end of it, we're going to place another 4 blocks on the top half of this. So we start from the top left and we go down until we end up covering half of the rectangle. And then finally we're just going to place one more block in the top left, like so. Now, coming to the top right, we're going to miss this first block, and then we're going to do a row that is 5 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it should hang off the end by another further block. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times, coming 1 block in for each row. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we do it again, like this. Then, coming back to the top here, we're going to miss this block and then just do a row of 4 this time. And that creates the first of our 4 legs for the rocket. So, to create the middle of this, we're going to come here, and coming off the end of this, we're going to do another 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to extend it to the left and the right by another block. Like this, and it ends up creating this 3 by 3 square. And then we're going to extend it up so it's a total of 2 blocks thick. And now we're going to do 3 more of these legs coming off each of the sides of this middle bit here. So to build the fin going top down, we're going to start by coming to the top middle here, and we're going to count to the left by 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then underneath it, we're going to do 5 blocks. Then we're going to start doing our cascading pattern. So we miss the first block and we go another 5. And we repeat this 2 more times. Like this. Then, to start our fin going down, we're going to come to the left and we're going to count 4 blocks to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we repeat this another 2 times. Like this. And then we're just going to do the 3 to the left another 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should bring you down to the bottom like this. And now we're just going to repeat the exact same thing with the 2 other fins going off to the back and off to the right. And with that done, you should end up with your 4 fins looking just like this. To finish off the bottom of the rocket, we're going to come underneath, and in this 3 by 3 square here, we're going to surround the rim of it with iron bars. Like this, creating ourselves a square. And then we're going to bring it down 1 more block, so it is a total of 2 blocks tall. And this creates the thruster of our rocket. Now, to start work on the body of it, we're going to come to each of the corners in between the fins, and we're going to extend out this middle block here by 2 orange wool on either side, as well as placing 1 in the middle like this, so it creates a bit of an M shape. And we're going to repeat that on every single side, like so, making sure to do it just like I'm doing it here. Now, for the next layer, we're going to come back to the front of the rocket, and starting one block out from this side. So we're going to start at the top here, put 2 blocks out, and then we're going to count this back a further 11 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you'll notice it's one big line that goes 1 block over on each side. Now we're going to repeat this, but going in the opposite direction so that we end up creating a big plus symbol. So to do that, we're just going to go 6 blocks in each direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we do that this way as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, at the end of each of these rows, we're going to extend it to the left and the right by another 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we repeat that on every single side until we end up with, well, I'm not quite sure what shape it is, but it ends up looking just like this. Now we're going to extend back each of these rows all the way to the middle, so we end up with one very thick plus sign. So we just bring it back like this. And then we repeat that for this side as well. So you can see we end up with an L shape, and it starts to connect up the bottom of our rocket. And then, with that done, this is the shape we should be left with. And we're going to come to each of the corners, and we're just going to create a little L to finally connect it up so that it goes diagonally like this. So you just end up doing 2 blocks in each direction. Here we go. And once you've done that on all 4 corners, that is the base of the rocket started, and now we can start building it up. So to begin, we're going to start by building up each of these sides up by another block, but only the outer rim part. So do this, and we're also going to do the same for the diagonals as well. So we just bring this ring all the way around, but of course we don't want to fill in the middle, as that is where the bottom floor is going to go. And now that we've done that, we're also going to do one more block going all the way around. So we just come out like this, so that you'll notice it just ends up hanging over every single block by 1. Like so. Now for the next layer, we're going to start by doing pretty much the same thing. So we're going to build up the outer rim by 1 block in every direction. Like this, coming all the way around until we reach back where we started. But for this layer, we're only going to extend the diagonals by a block, whereas the sides are just going to stay flat-faced like this. So it's only going to end up being 4 blocks that we add onto each corner. Like so, for all 4 corners of our rocket. And then for our next layer, we're going to do a very similar thing. So we start by building up the outer rim by 1 block in every single direction. Like this, coming all the way around, creating our full circle. Like so. And then we're going to fill in the corners, but the difference this time is the 2 side bits we're going to fill in with glowstone, and then the middle is going to be orange wool again. So we do that for all 4 sides. So 2 glowstone, 1 orange wool. Like this. And then with that done, you should end up with a shape that looks like this on every single side. Then for the next layer, we're going to start once again by just bringing up each of the sides by 1 block, like so. Just doing our rim once more, coming all the way around. And then once again, we're just going to fill in the corners with blocks. So no glowstone this time, just 2 blocks like that, causing 1 more overhang. And what you'll notice is that once we've done that, and we look at it from the top down, we are left with pretty much a square in the middle. And now I'm going to show you how to build up the middle bit of the rocket. So to do that, what you're going to want to do is extend up the outer rim of this square by another 6 blocks of orange wool, and then it's going to be another 4 blocks of white wool, and then another 6 blocks of orange wool. So let's do that now. And with that done, we now have a rocket that is looking a lot bigger and a lot more like an actual rocket. But before we begin work on the tip of it, we're going to start by putting in the windows. So to do that, we're going to come to the center of each of our sides. So it should be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from each side, giving us the middle block on the 7th block. And then we're going to come down 3 blocks from our white stripe. So 1, 2, 3. And here, we're going to break out this block and replace it with glass. And we're going to do this on every single side, like this. Making sure that you do get the middle block like that. And then the only other window is if we come to the front of our rocket, so the side closest to the path, we're going to come to the left-hand side, and at the top, we're going to come to the middle again, and this time we're going to come down 1 block, and we're going to break out an area that is 5 blocks wide, so we break out the block in the middle, and 2 to each side, and then we break out the row below it as well. And then we're just going to replace this with glass. And that is all of the windows for our rocket ship done. So now we can start work on the tip of the rocket. So to begin, we're going to come to the front of our rocket, and at the top here, we're going to start by missing out the leftmost block and then placing a piece of glowstone, and then we're going to place orange wool going to the right until it is 2 blocks away from the edge, and then we place another piece of glowstone. And you'll see that it ends up looking like this. And we're going to repeat that on every single side. So we place our glowstone, we connect it up, and then we place a glowstone on the other end. So it's just creating a bunch of rows that have glowstones for the tip. Like this, going all the way around. Then we're going to want to connect up each of these rows with another piece of orange wool. So to do that, we come to the corner here, we place ourselves a temporary block, and then a piece of orange wool on top, and destroy the block underneath. And we repeat that for every single side, like so. Now, for the next layer, we're going to start by expanding up each of these corner blocks by a further block, like this, on every single side, and then we're just going to simply connect them up with more orange wool. And what this will do is it will create a perfect square shape for us to create the rest of the roof off of. So, for the next layer, we're going to repeat what we did with the glowstone. So we miss a block, place glowstone, place orange wool until we're 2 blocks away from the other end, and then place a piece of glowstone. And we repeat that for the 3 remaining sides. Then, for the next layer, we're going to build ourselves another square. So we place ourselves a temporary block in the corner, a piece of orange wool on top, and then we just extend this around until it fully encapsulates the entire shape of the square. Like so. Now we're going to repeat what we did with the glowstone again, so we miss a block, place the orange wool until we're 2 blocks away, and then place glowstone. You know the drill by now. But unfortunately, for the next 2 layers, this pattern is going to ever so slightly change. But nothing we can't deal with. So, we once again place a temporary block in the corner, place orange wool on top, and bring it around the rim until we create ourselves another square. But I'll show you what the difference is with this layer. And that is, we'll see before that we've got these layers that are only 2 blocks tall, whereas the next 2 are going to be 3 blocks tall. So to do that, we start by missing the corners and just doing a row of just orange wool, no glowstone this time. And we do that for every single side. And then on the next layer is where we do our glowstone again. So we place a glowstone in each of the corners like this on all 4 sides. And then we just connect them up with orange wool like we've done before. And we're going to repeat this again one more time for the next layer. So we place our temporary block, piece of orange wool, extend it around, and so on and so forth. We know how to do it by now. we place our rows of orange wool 1 block away from the corners. And then for the next layer, we do our glowstone in the corners, as well as the orange wool on each side. And now we're going to finish off the tip of the rocket. So we start by once again doing ourselves a square of orange wool coming around the outside. But then we're going to extend up each of the sides by 2 blocks of just orange wool, no glowstone this time. Like this, on all 4 sides. In this center 3x3 grid, we're going to once again place a temporary block, a piece of orange wool on top of it, and then we're just going to fully fill in the 3x3 area here. Then, on top of this, we're going to make ourselves a plus sign out of glowstone, like so. And then finally, we're just going to place 2 pieces of black wool on top of the spire, like this. And with that done, that is the outside of our rocket finished. Now, before we start work on the interior, I'm going to show you how to build the pathway that takes you up to the entrance. So, for this, we're going to come to the bottom right of our area this time, and we're going to count up from the corner 9 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to miss this block, and 1 to the left, we're going to place ourselves a nether brick fence. Then we're going to extend this to the left another 5 blocks, so it is a total of 6 long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to bring this back until it is once again a total of 6 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we connect up both sides in the corner like this until we have ourselves a full square of nether brick fences. Now for the next bit, we're going to extend every single fence up until it is a total of 26 blocks tall. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And if you've done this right, it should be in line with the second block from the top of our white band. And now we're just going to repeat that for all of our fences. And with that now all built up, we're also going to come to the very center of our massive square. And in the middle, 4 blocks. So if we build this, we'll notice that we have a 1 block rim going around the entire outside. We're also going to build up the 4 of these until they're also 26 blocks tall. So let's do that now. And now that that is done, we can start work on the stairs wrapping around our tower going up to our rocket. Now I must admit, this next bit will be a bit tedious as the fences underneath the stairs don't really follow a pattern. So we are just going to have to go through it one by one for every single step. So it's going to take a while, but it will guarantee that it is as accurate as possible to how his is in his world. So to begin, we're going to start by coming to the right hand side of the tower, and we're going to cut out a 5 block tall column 1 block away from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to count back from this entrance 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. And on the block after it, we're going to place a nether brick fence, and it should be in line with the back of the column here. Then we're going to place another fence behind it. Then we're going to do a column that is 2 blocks tall to the right, and then 2 columns that are 3 blocks tall next to it, like so. Then we're going to do a column that is 4 blocks tall, and then 2 5 block tall ones, like this. And then to the right of it, we're going to do a 6 blocks tall one, and then a 7 block tall one, coming up like so. Now from this point onwards, we're no longer going to connect the columns all the way to the ground. We're instead going to start at the same height. So for the first one, we'll start by covering the top 2 blocks of the 7 block column with fences like this. Then, coming behind it, we're going to do a 3 block tall one, starting at the bottom of the 2 column, and then another 3 block tall one starting in the middle this time. Then we're going to do a 2 block tall one, such that it ends up at the same height as the previous column, and then another 2 block tall one that ends up being 1 block higher. Now we're going to do a 3 block tall one that ends up 1 block higher, as well as a 2 block tall one that ends up at the same height. Now we're going to do a 3 block tall one coming off the bottom of that one, as well as a 4 block tall one coming off the bottom of the previous. Next we do a 2, then a 3, and then a 4, as well as a 2 block tall one coming off the back of that. Then we do a 2 that is 1 block higher, and then a 3 that is 1 block higher, and then a 3 that is the same height. Then coming around, we do a 3 that is 1 block higher, and then a 2 that is 1 block higher, and then another 2 that is the same height. And then getting close to the end now, we do a 3 that is 1 block higher, a 4 that is 1 block higher, and then strangely enough, just the one coming off to the right of it like this. And then coming up 1 block higher, we're going to do a single one again. So this will be the first one where they don't actually connect to each other. And then we do two 2 block tall ones that are 1 block higher than our 1, just like this. And then finally, we can just bring this all the way across, like so, towards our rocket ship. And if this has been done right, you'll be left with 3 blocks above the fence where there is no more left. And that is the bottom of it done. And I know it was a bit complicated, and I hope you were able to follow along with it well, but now we can get going with some of the more simpler stuff. So to do that, we're going to come back to the bottom of our stairs, and we're going to start by taking our nether brick stairs and placing one in front of the fence, like this. Then we place another with a nether brick block behind it, and we're essentially going to repeat this for every single layer. So you place a stair, then you place another stair, then a block. Stair, stair, block. And you can start to see the pattern. So let's do that all the way up to the top now. And now that we've reached the top, we're just going to cover the rest of these fences that should all be at the same height with more nether bricks, as well as breaking out these 3 fences behind it, like so, and then placing a nether brick at the bottom, and this will let us continue the path towards the rocket ship. But before we do that, we just want to do 2 more columns of 3 high nether brick fences off to the left of this path. So one here, and one here. And you'll notice they're both in line with the middle column, and it just helps connect it so we have a full fence going around. Now, for the path to the rocket ship, we want to start by extending out this path until it hits the bottom of the white row here. Just like this. Then, we want to surround each of the 2 sides with nether bricks, like so, as well as placing 2 more rows of nether brick fences on top of each of the sides, like this. Making sure to get it right, as they can be quite finicky, these fences. Now we're going to cover the bottom of the nether bricks with fences, like so. And just for the side which is closest to the tower, we're also going to extend both the left and the right down by 1, giving a more full feel to it. Now for this, we're going to finish it off by placing some torches, as this is the only place in the entire build where they appear. So the first one is going to go at the corner, where we finally level off into a straight path. Then we're going to go down 1 set of stairs, 2 set of stairs, 3 set of stairs, 4, and in this corner here, we're going to place another torch. And then the final torch is going to be, if we come back to our entrance here, it's just going to be on the left, in front of where our stairs start. Now, coming back to the top of our tower, we're going to come to where the path ends, and we're just going to break out these 2 blocks here, and we're going to take ourselves an iron door and place it in the gap like so, with a stone pressure plate in front of it. And after that whole palaver, we are finally ready to start the interior of the rocket. So, to begin, building the storage room of the rocket, we're going to come to the front here where our iron door is, and we're going to fill in the layer 1 block below it with grey wool. So let's do that now. Next, we're going to come back to our front here, and starting to the right of the iron door, we're going to do a rim of white wool going all the way around the outside of the room, like this. We're going to bring it around until it is square shaped, but the only block we're not going to fill in is the block directly in front of our door. Now, we're going to build this up by another 4 blocks, giving us a total of a 5 block high wall to give us the inside of our storage room. So let's do that. There we go. And now for the roof of the storage room, we're going to fill in this top layer on the 5th block with even more white wool. So let's do that. Now I appreciate that that was a lot of building, so let's get to work on some of the more finer details of our rocket. So to begin, we're going to start by taking ourselves a stone pressure plate, and we're going to put it in front of the iron door here, so that we have one on both sides so we can get in and out of the rocket. Next, we're going to take ourselves our oak stairs, and we're going to place one facing upwards directly above our iron door. And then we're going to place an oak fence gate on both the left and the right of this, and I think this is meant to give the effect of like a moose's head hanging on the wall. I'm not sure why he's got that inside of a rocket, but it is there. Then we're going to come to the front here, just in front of the stone pressure plate, and we're going to count ourselves 5 blocks going forwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the next block we're going to break it out, as well as the blocks to the left and the right of it, and then break this all back by a further block. And this is going to be where the ladder is that goes through the entire rocket. So we're also going to want to do the exact same thing in the roof, breaking out the exact same blocks that we've done in the floor here. So it should be a 3 wide by 2 block long hole. Now we're going to take ourselves our glowstone, and we're going to break out the block in the middle directly in front of the hole, and the block in the middle directly behind the hole. And we're going to replace it with glowstone. I'm going to do the same for the roof as well. And then we're also going to come to each of the 4 corners of the room in the roof and replace those with glowstone as well, giving us a fully lit up room. And to finish off the storage room, we're going to grab ourselves our oak fences, and we're going to come to the back wall here, so the wall that is opposite our door, and we're going to cover the first layer with oak fences like this. And this is where our chests are going to go. But before we place any chests, we're going to want to come to our right here. We're going to count 3 blocks to the left on the 2nd block up. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to place an oak fence. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times. So 1, 2, fence. 1, 2, fence. And now we're going to take ourselves our chests, and we're going to place them on these blocks in between as well as on top of each of these fences. But the important thing to note is that the chests shouldn't connect up to each other. So the way we do that is by crouching as we place the chests. Like this. So we just want a bunch of single chests. There should be 11 in total. And with that done, that is our storage room complete, so we can move upwards to work on the control room. And the first thing that we're going to build is the roof. So to do that, we're going to come to one of our walls, we're going to count to the 5th block up, and we're going to fill in this layer with black wool. Now you won't be able to fill in the corners because you'll notice that we have these here already, but that is okay as there will be pillars in each corner to cover up that block. So we just want to fill in the rest of the space with black wool. There we go. And as I mentioned before, we're then going to come to each of the 4 corners and we're going to build a pillar of black wool that is 4 blocks high. Like this. And we just do that on all of the 3 remaining sides. Now we're going to take ourselves some glowstone and we're going to start filling in the lighting of this floor. So to start with, on the side with the window, on both the left and the right, we're going to break the block of white wool that is both to the left and the right of the glowstone already in the ground, and we replace those with even more glowstone, giving us an L shape going around our pillar. And then we're just going to mirror that on the ceiling. So we do 3 more pieces of glowstone on both sides. Like this. Now it's going to be almost identical on the opposite side. So for the floor, we once again do our L of glowstone. And on the right hand side, when we're facing away from the window, we're going to do the exact same thing in the roof. But for whatever reason, on this left hand side here, there is instead only 2 blocks of glowstone in the roof like this. And then the final block where the glowstone would go is instead made out of orange wool. Now I'm not entirely sure why it's like this, but we want to keep it as accurate as possible, so that is how it will be. Now for the wall that is opposite the window, we're going to take ourselves our bookshelves and we're going to create a wall of bookshelves that is 9 blocks wide by 4 blocks high. So we start 1 block to the right of our glowstone in the floor and we're going to count 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we build this up until every single block is 4 blocks tall. And this just gives us a nice looking back wall. Now we're going to come to the wall with the window on it. We're going to take ourselves our grey wool and we're going to create a 7 block long row underneath it. So if we start 1 to the right of our window, going to the left by 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, we're going to take ourselves our stone brick stairs and we're going to come to the center block and we're going to turn around, skip the first block and place a stone brick stair here. And that will be our control seat. Next, we're going to take ourselves our stone buttons and starting from the right, we're going to place one on the second block in. And starting from the left, we're going to place one on the second block in. Then we're going to take ourselves our redstone torches and we're going to place one on top of the leftmost block of grey wool and one on top of the rightmost block of grey wool. Now we take ourselves a lever and we're going to place one on the center block, but we want it facing to the side like this. Then we're going to place one to the left and the right of it that are facing forwards and backwards rather. And we're going to flip one so that the 2 levers are different from each other. Now we're going to come to the wall that is on the right hand side of the window and starting 1 block away from the glowstone here, we're going to make a row that is 9 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to extend this backwards so that it is a total of 2 blocks long. Like this. Now we're going to take our stone brick stairs and we're going to come 1 block in, turn around, skip a block and place one here, like we did before. And we're going to do that on the other side as well. So we want it to be 1 block in, skip a block, place a stair. Now, turning back round, we're going to grab our white wool and we're going to place it on the same row as our stairs at the back like this. And we do that for both sides. And this is where the little computers are going to be. So to finish them off, we're going to place a stone pressure plate in front of both of these pieces of white wool. Then we're going to place a lever to the right of the right computer and a lever to the left of the left computer. Then we're going to take a stone button and we're going to place it on the 3rd block in from the left. So 1, 2, 3, and it should be 1 block to the right of our staircase. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going to take ourselves a redstone torch and we're going to place it in the middle at the back of our grey wall with 2 repeaters on either side of it, like this. And then finally, we're going to take ourselves 3 levers and we're going to place one in the middle as well as one to the left and the right, flipping the left and the right ones on so that those 2 repeaters turn on. And that is the right hand control panel finished. So now we're just going to work on the final one on the left. So to begin, we're going to once again take our grey wall and coming 1 block in from the glowstone here, we're going to instead this time count out a row that is 8 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we should be left with 1 block of white wool in between the glowstone and the grey wool. And then we're just going to bring this forward so that it is a total of 2 blocks long again. Now we're going to take ourselves our black wool and we're going to do a row at the back here on top of the grey wool that is also 8 blocks long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the next layer, we're going to place a piece of black wool, a piece of white wool, a piece of black wool, 2 pieces of white wool, black wool, white wool, and black wool. And it should create this pattern here. And then we're just going to top it off with another layer of black wool. So it should look just like this. Now, coming to the right of the control panel, where we've left this little gap, we're going to place a piece of black wool on the bottom and a piece of white wool on the top. Then we're going to take ourselves a stone button and we're going to place it on the front of the black wool, as well as taking a lever and placing it on the right of the white wool. And this just creates a little robot that is waving at you. Now, on the front of our grey wool here, we're going to come in 3 blocks from the right. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to place an oak button. Then we're going to place 2 levers and another oak button. And then we're just going to flip down the right lever. Now, above these 2 levers, we're going to place a redstone torch on top of these 2 blocks, as well as a redstone torch to the right of this piece of white wool and to the left of this piece of white wool. Now we're going to grab ourselves our brewing stands and we're going to place one on the leftmost block of grey wool and on the rightmost block of grey wool, as well as taking ourselves a lever and placing one to the side of it that is facing sideways. And we do that for both brewing stands. And with that done, that is now this floor of the rocket complete. So we're going to come back to our center here and we're going to break out another hole in the ceiling that is in the exact same place as the previous one before. And now we can begin work on the upper floor of the rocket. Now thankfully this layer is quite a simple one. We're going to start by coming to our hole here and we're going to break out the middle block at the back and the middle block at the front, and we're going to once again put glowstone in each of those holes. Now we're going to come to each of the corners, and where we have these 2 pieces of glowstone, we're going to place a piece of orange wool in front of it. And we do that on all 4 sides. Then we're going to do the same again on the next layer, but also placing a piece of orange wool underneath it, like this. We do that just like so. And now for this layer, we're going to place 2 pieces of orange wool, as well as a piece of glowstone, giving us a pillar that is 3 blocks long. We do that on all 4 corners. And then finally, we're just going to cap off this layer here with just orange wool, so we fully fill in this to finally give us a roof to our rocket. And that is everything in this room done until we eventually build the ladder that goes throughout the entire rocket. So now we can come down and begin work on the living quarters of the rocket. Now to start, we're going to create the floor of the bedroom. So if we come to the top of our roof here below the grey wool, we're going to count down 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on this layer, we're going to fully fill it in with white wool. Then we're going to come back to the center and we're going to break out our 3x2 hole again. And this will be the final one that we have, as the floor below this is the basement of the rocket. Then we're going to come to each of the 4 corners in the floor and we're going to break them out and replace them with glowstone. But this time we're also going to come in 1 block in, 1 block to the left, 1 block in, and 1 block to the left on every side and place a second piece of glowstone. So you can see it comes in diagonally, missing a block in between. And we're just going to repeat that on all 3 of the remaining sides, like this. And then we're also going to place a single piece of glowstone in the 4 corners in the roof, like this, coming in on all 4 sides. Now, to begin working on the furniture, we're going to make sure that we're facing the side where our iron door is. So just make sure that you've got this and you can see out the window our tower going up to the top. And in front of this window here, we're going to place a piece of yellow wool with 2 more to the left and the right. Then we're going to extend each of the side corners out by another block. And we're going to take ourselves our smooth stone slabs and fill in the area in between. And this creates our little couch. Then, coming in front of the slabs, we're going to skip a block. Then we're going to place 3 more spruce slabs to create a little coffee table. Next, we're going to come to the left of the table. We're going to skip 2 blocks, and then we're going to place ourselves a spruce stair. And it should be directly in front of our glowstone here. Then, we're going to miss a block, and we're going to place a row of 4 oak fences behind it, like this. Next, we're going to take even more spruce stairs, and we're going to come to the sides of our row of fences, and we're going to skip a block on both sides and place another spruce stair. And we do that on the other side as well. And then finally, we place our stair at the head of the table, so we end up with a shape that looks like this. Now, we're going to take our stone pressure plates, and we're going to cover the 4 fences in the middle with them, making our table. Then we're also going to take ourselves our oak signs, and we're going to place one on both the left and the right of every single spruce stair. And this just creates the little armchair effect that we know Stampy likes to use so much. And it does just help add a bit of character to this building. Now, coming to the back wall here, so the wall that is opposite our sofa, we're going to take ourselves our black wool, and to the left of our glowstone in the bottom right corner, we're going to build a pillar that is 4 blocks high. We're then going to skip 2 blocks and build another pillar, skip 3 blocks, build another pillar, and then finally skip another 2 and build another pillar, and it should bring us just to the right of our glowstone. Then, in the center here, we're going to take ourselves our chests, and we're going to place one in the bottom left and the bottom right of our window. Then we're going to place ladders on the pillars directly next to each of these chests, but not the ones in the corners. And then finally we're going to want to place our beds. So to do that, we're going to grab a temporary block of your choice. We're going to place it on the second block up like this. Then we're going to place a bed on top of it with the pillow facing to the left, and a bed on the bottom like that. And we repeat that on both sides. So we place our temporary blocks, place our bed, with this time with the pillow facing to the right, and then place another bed below it like this. And there is our sleeping area. Now, to build our kitchen, we're going to come to the right, and we're going to miss a single block of white wool away from this glowstone, and then we're going to do a pillar of 4 bookshelves. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So we skip 2 blocks, and we place our bookshelves. Then we're going to connect up the top of these bookshelves with glowstone, and then we're going to place stone brick stairs on the front of these, giving ourselves a little roof. Next, coming to the left, we're going to place a stone brick to the right of the bottom bookshelf. We're then going to miss a block, place 2 stone bricks, miss a block, place 2 stone bricks. Then we're going to take ourselves a furnace, and we're going to place it in the left gap here, and we're going to place a crafting table in the right gap here. Now we're going to place a cake on the stone brick that is directly to the right of the furnace, and a pressure plate on the stone brick that is directly to the right of the crafting table. And now, to finish off this little area, we're going to place 2 oak fences in the 2 corners like this. And now finally, on these 2 blocks here, which are to the right of the hole in the middle, we're going to place 2 oak fences with 2 stone pressure plates on top of it like so. And that is our lounge area complete. So now we can begin work on the final floor of the rocket. Now to start, we're going to begin by covering all of this visible floor with black wool. So it won't be a perfect square, but we're just going to fill in this entire layer. And with that done, we're going to come to the side, which is where we built the couch before, and is where the iron door is. So it should be the side with the tower on it. We're going to come here, we're going to take ourselves our stone bricks, and we're going to place 1 in the middle, and then 3 to the right, and 3 to the left. Then we're going to extend up each of the sides by another 3 blocks, and then we're going to connect it at the top, creating ourselves this rectangle here. Then we're going to take our black wool and we're going to place 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And then we're going to do a upside down U shape of stone bricks in the middle. And we should be left with this single gap here that we're going to place a furnace in. Then we're going to take ourselves our levers and we're going to place 2 on the black wool on the left and 2 on the black wool on the right. And finally, to finish this wall off, we're going to place an oak sign to the left of the furnace that says Nutrient Energy Power Fuel Converter Thingy Machine. There we go, making sure to have a full stop at the end of it. Now we're going to work on the wall to the left of this. So, starting by placing a stone brick in the middle, we're then going to place another 2 to the left and the right. Then we're going to extend up the sides of the stone bricks by another 2, creating ourselves this big U shape. We're then going to place a stone brick in the middle at the top with 3 more to the right and to the left, giving us this shape. We're then going to take our black wool, we're going to do a 3 high column on the left and a 3 high column on the right. And then finally we're going to fill in this middle 6 block area with furnaces. Then we're going to once again take our stone bricks, we're going to place 3 underneath our furnaces with a stone brick slab to the left and the right, taking ourselves a stone button and placing it in the middle block. And to finish it off, we're going to place a lever to the left of the top left furnace and to the right of the top right furnace. And now we're going to repeat this for the other 2 remaining walls as well. Now, to fill in the corners of the room, we're going to come to each side. On the left block, we're going to place a stack of dispensers facing to the left, and on the right block, we're going to place a stack of dispensers facing to the right. Now they can be a bit finicky to place sometimes, since you do need to shift when you place them, but if you press space and shift at the same time, then you're able to do it whilst you're in midair, like this. And we're just going to repeat this for all 4 sides. There we go. Now, for our lighting, on the 3 sides that have the slabs, we're going to place a glowstone in the floor to the left and the right of these little control panels. Like this. But then for the side that has the sign with the furnace, we're going to place 1 in the floor underneath the furnace and 1 in the roof above the furnace, like so. And now the final 2 we need to place are coming back to our hole in the ceiling. We're going to place 1 in the middle on the back, and once again 1 in the middle on the front. And that is now the bottom floor complete. So the only detail we have left to add is the massive ladder going through the entire rocket. So to do that, we're going to come to the side with our sign. We're going to start here and we're going to count 6 blocks forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to the left and the right of this block, we're going to place a piece of black wool. Then we're going to place another 3 behind it like this, giving ourselves this U shape. Now, the way we're going to build this up is we're going to just keep repeating this layer, but we're going to do 2 layers of orange wool, 3 layers of black wool, 2 layers of orange, so on and so forth until we reach the very top of the rocket. So, let's do that. And it should end with just a single layer of orange before we touch the roof of the rocket. And now finally we come back to the bottom and we take ourselves our ladders and we're just going to cover the middle block with them all the way to the top of the rocket until we touch that roof again. Coming all the way up like this. And with that now done, that is finally us completed the entirety of Stampy's rocket. I appreciate this is probably one of the longest videos I've ever made, so I really hope you enjoyed, and please leave a comment what you'd like to see me build next, and if you don't mind, a like would be much appreciated as it really helps. Alrighty then, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!